Isaiah chapter number 49 and verse 7.
He said, thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel, and his only one, to him whom men despise it, to him whom the nation abhor it, to a servant of rulers, he said, king shall see thee and arise. Princes also shall worship, because of the Lord that is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel,
and he shall choose thee.
With those hands and say, thank you, Father. I'm speaking briefly on what I titled as those that men reject. Let me preach to somebody, say, people that reject you, at the end of this meeting, they will subscribe to the God that you serve. People who have turned against you, those who have looked down on you, at the end of today's meeting, they will come to accept the God that you serve. Child of God, let me begin from the word rejection. What does it mean when they said someone has been rejected? Rejection simply means to be refused to accept. And I hope you understand. Rejection simply means to be refused. It simply means non-acceptance. It simply means considered to be submitted to, or to take some for purpose, for a specific purpose. It means that you come around an environment, or you come to an area where you have to do something, and they look at you and downsize you, either for the sake of your transgression, or because you do not fit in to what they expected, and they look at you and say, no, I don't have business with you, I don't want to continue or proceed with you. That is what rejection means. Rejection also means a state where they don't want to hear your voice. You have something to contribute, but they don't want to hear you. You have something to say, but nobody like to hear you. You have an idea that can save them from their predicament and their struggle, but no one want to hear you. We see it in the area where people who are in relationship, we see it where one does not want to listen to the other, because he have come to the state when the husband looks at the wife, or the boy looks at the girl and said, this one is not up to my standard, there's nothing that he have to offer. Then he refuses. The outcome of that thought will be the rejection of the person. Anytime that you find people rejecting other people, there are two things that are working there. Number one, it could be power that is working on the head of the person being rejected. Number two, it could be the person that is rejecting you, that is seeing you as someone who is worthless. But I come to make a decree that at the end of today's meeting, every oil of rejection that has rested on you, the yoke, the mantle, the power of rejection that may have rested on you, it shall be shattered in pieces. It shall be broken off your head. It shall be broken off your children. It shall be broken off your life. It shall be broken off your life. It shall be broken off your voice. Man, we hear you in the place where boys reject you, and make a decree that men, we hear you in the place where children reject you, and make a decree that men, we hear you in the place where servants reject you, and make a decree that kings will look for you. They will come to the brightness of your rising. Who am I talking to? Let me tap your neighbor by the shoulder. Ask the person, have you ever been rejected? Tap your neighbor by the shoulder. Ask the person, eyeball to eyeball. Say, have you ever been rejected? Maybe by someone that you loved. Have you ever been rejected? Maybe by someone that you valued. Have you ever been rejected? Maybe by someone you have labored for. Have you ever been rejected? I come to make a decree that at the end of today's meeting, the oil of acceptance shall be active over your head. The oil of acceptance, shapalata ketalikata, the oil of acceptance is coming afresh rest upon you, is coming upon your house, is coming upon your head, is coming upon your destiny, is coming upon your life, is coming upon your body, is coming upon your house. Tap your neighbor again. Say, have you ever been rejected? If they rejected you, it's because they are not up to your class. Child of God, it does not matter how you appear now, it does not matter how your life look now, it does not matter the kind of cloth that you seem to be wearing now, it does not matter how you look like in the eyes of other people. When they reject you, it's because they are not up to your level. Let me tell you something. From where we read from, the Bible told us, he said to you, the men have rejected a servant of servant. Do you understand that? Now the people rejecting you, they are servants themselves, but just that they don't know. It appears like as if you are not as well sumptuous as they are. You may not be dressed up as they are, but they are servants anyway. I don't know if you understand me. The Bible said a servant of servant, a servant of rulers, a servant of servant. Servant looked at you. They say you are not up to my class. Servant looked at you after many years of labor, after many years of investment. They say you are no longer up to their class. But I come to prophesy that the God that changed the status of Jephthah, that God shall be your God. That God will be your God. That God will be your God. That God will be your God. Ladies and gentlemen, they did it to Joseph in the book of Genesis, chapter number 37. The Bible told us that the father loved Joseph and gave him coats of many colors. Joseph was a dreamer. Joseph was a visionary, but he had just one coat. How do I know? The father gave him the cloth at home, but it became the cloth that he wear to message and in the house. When they sent him message, he put on one cloth. When they sent him on an errand, he put on one cloth. When he's in the house, he put on one cloth. One cloth is a sign that you don't have money to get another. Who looked at you? Who have been looking at you and seen you with just one status, and because of that they drew conclusion? Still stand up, turn around like this, say, God is changing my story now. God is turning my life around. Say, God is turning my case around. Child of God, they did to Joseph. The Bible told us it was rejected of his brethren. They took him up and they threw him into an empty pit. They took away the coat, the only cloth that he have. He went into slavery with no cloth in his body. He went into the house of Potiphar. It's a kind boy. He went into the house of Potiphar, cleaning the floor, mopping the house, but the grace that was upon him does not make him to appear like a raggedy boy. The grace upon him covered for his nakedness. He went there with no cloth, but there was a grace that covered him, that when the master looked on him, the master was not seeing what the brothers were seeing. The master was seeing the grace. He was seeing leadership. He was seeing power. He was seeing prosperity in the life of Joseph. And the Bible said that he made Joseph to become the ruler of his house. From there he was tempted by the wife of Potiphar and he was thrown into prison. Now in prison, the prisoners and the prison warder, they didn't see Joseph as a prisoner. They were seeing the grace that was upon him. Oh, am I talking to? One of the reasons they are rejecting you